Is the president more determined now, since the judge's ruling today, to go after James Comey and Tish James, and if so, why?
I wouldn't say he's going after them. You can expect to see those strikes continue. We view the Maduro regime as being illegitimate.
Okay, we're doubling up on the Karoline Leavitt debunks, as she's also really bad at this, and she's joining the MAGA Mount Rushmore. So leave us a like on the video if you can. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, and let's get right to the takedown.
Is the president more determined now, since the judge's ruling today, to go after James Comey and Tish James, and if so, why?
I wouldn't say he's going after them. I think the president is more determined than ever to see accountability in this country, yes, and to correct the wrongs of the weaponization of our justice system that we saw under the previous administration and Joe Biden.
Except that Trump, the bumbling old doofus that he is, accidentally publicly posted a private message, he's supposed to be private message, to Pam Bondi, directing her to specifically go after Letitia James and James Comey, to which they were indicted days after, of which we now know Trump fired a prosecutor because he personally picked, because he told him that there wasn't evidence to warrant indictment. And then when he put in his personal MAGA loyalist prosecutor, she refused to let Letitia James' niece testify in front of the grand jury because it proved her innocence, going as far to switch the grand jury just for this reason, where we now know that both of these cases have been thrown out, adding more merit to the claim that Trump is doing the weaponization of the DOJ, but has never been weaponized against, as none of the cases against him were thrown out, and everyone that made it to trial he was convicted on.
Are we entering a new phase in Venezuela, and what does that entail?
Well, as the president is so good at, I'll try to be just as good. I'm not going to broadcast any actions that may or may not be happening with respect to Venezuela. I know I've been very clear about the administration's position, as has the president and his national security team. We view the Maduro regime as being illegitimate, and the president has been very satisfied with the successful strikes against narco-terrorists and foreign terrorists that are illegally trafficking drugs towards the United States of America. He's not going to tolerate that, and you can expect to see those strikes continue.
And we should be clear here that this is the pro-peace ticket, the Nobel Peace Prize deserving president flirting with regime change of a democratically elected government and talking about continuing strikes on fishing boats in the Caribbean, of which no evidence has been presented that they're narco-terrorists, and Colombia has personally said 2 or 3 of their civilians were on at least one of them. Nobel Peace Prize worthy president, guys, by the way. And it should also be stated, these are still human beings. Like, the idea that, like, even if they are drug smugglers or whatever, that we can now just play judge, jury, and executioner without trial is insane. But of course, guys, again, Nobel Peace Prize deserving actions from Trump.
I will tell you that healthcare is a topic of discussion that's happening very frequently and robustly inside the West Wing right now. The president's very much involved in these talks, and he's very focused on unveiling a healthcare proposal that will fix the system and will bring down costs for consumers. As for the details of those discussions, I'll let the president speak for himself. As you all know, sometimes you report things and then President Trump comes out with an announcement, and those things are not always true from what you hear from sources inside the building.
We should first admire the fact that Republicans' first attempt to repeal Obamacare was in, what, 2017, 2018, if not. Obamacare went into effect in 2014. And of course, Republicans have been complaining about it since then, since before then, when the negotiations were being had. But despite all of this, not a single plan or bill has been put forth by Republicans to replace it. Not one, not even to committee, not on the floor, nothing, even with having multiple trifectas, multiple majorities since then, to ensure the same protections that it does. Not a single bill. To give the same amount of coverage that it does. Not a single bill. And even now, they're at what? Concepts of a plan, pre-concepts of a plan. This should be embarrassing to say out loud after the attacks they've waged on people's healthcare. But when your base is the MAGA base, I guess you can kind of get away with a lot, can't you?